coming out of that SaaS experience, really for the first time in my career to that point had felt like just a little bit disconnected. That experience didn't go well. And I started to question like, hey, is this still for me? Is this still what I want to do? Working in this space? Are there other things that I want to explore? Would I potentially want to go back to school? You start to have lots of those thoughts and just figure out if there's a pivot point or what does that look like? And it just so happened that people were just figuring out that it was their time to start departing and looking for their next chapter. I had rejoined with two people from our past history at Brulon Rosetta that we had had longstanding relationships with. And we decided that we wanted to give a go at starting a professional services firm. Really, the thesis of that firm was going to be at that juncture, fractional models. We were just identifying the role of chief digital officer, chief marketing officer, that mid-tier C-suite was something that the middle market really didn't have. They were looking at all those things, but didn't necessarily have those roles fully checked off in their org chart and weren't in a position to pay the level of compensation either to bring in those roles at their companies or hire the larger consulting firms. Even the mid-tier consulting firms were probably out of their reach. We had a very strong operator, a strong business developer, and then we all had chops in terms of being tactical operators in terms of digital marketing and e-commerce. We spun that company up and it had limited success. We were definitely gaining clients. I don't think we had the right framework to really grow and scale a business. We rode this teeter-totter of delivery and sales and delivery and sales. And it was not enough time across the three of us that was dedicated to filling a pipeline, building a pipeline versus delivering work. Ultimately, that became something that as a collective, we decided this is having limited success or probably the growth prospects are there, but not in the period of time that's going to be quick enough to really meet the needs of folks' families at that time.
So you guys were way ahead of your time. I remember that time period and I just never thought about it as fractional, where today fractional's all the rage. You guys were probably just selling a concept that people couldn't wrap their head around yet. That's really interesting.
It had a good foundation. We were really starting with road mapping. That was something that had a lot of momentum at the time. That was maybe the early stages of what you would say looked like digital transformation today. We were looking at different areas of the business or different problems or challenges that businesses were having, trying to make a roadmap and then just executing against the roadmap. It was working. It probably just really needed additional legs, filling that pipeline from a closing business. We didn't scale effectively at that time. We also then fell to the tyranny of the urgent, delivery over sales, dividing and conquering. And it really just came down to bandwidth over prioritization to grow and scale that business. It's another great learning experience. Limited success, but definitely many lessons there to apply later on.